Well, hello, everybody. My name is Kirby Hasseman, and I am incredibly excited for you to be here for this HMC Total Wellness webinar. Really want to, show some appreciation for you for jumping on here today. As you can see, we have started promptly at 11 o'clock and want to kill a little bit of time just to let other people jump in as they can. That being said, I don't want to waste any of your time. You are being prompt, so I want to respect that and just know that we've scheduled this from 11 to 11:30. I see no issue with us being done by 11:30. So, with that being said, let's dive in. Let's dive into this HMC Total Wellness webinar today. So first of all, I just want to welcome you and thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to be chatting with you, and I'm excited to share some of our best practices that we have seen with some of our clients, many of our clients who work in the health and wellness space. Because one of the things that I always like to talk about is, why is the marketing guy talking about health and wellness? And I think that's a fair question. So I do want to address that sort of elephant in the room. Number one, health and wellness is something that's a hobby of mine and something I'm very interested in, personal development, growth. And so this is something that I'm passionate about. And I think that's really important. And we also work at Hasseman Marketing. We work with many organizations to affect human behavior. So in the marketing side, that might be getting people to click on a website or come to your store or buy a product. But we also work with people in the HR space and in this sort of space to affect human behavior to help people and organizations make the change that they need to make. So today, I'm going to be sharing some best practices, as I said, from some organizations that we have seen doing amazing health and wellness programs. So let's start with why. Why is having a health and wellness program really important? Now, obviously, if you're on this call, it's important, but let me just outline a couple things. Number one is that insurance savings. I always say, follow the dollar bills. Many, if not most, insurance companies are going to provide incentives for organizations, probably like yours, with wellness programs. They might give a discount. They might give discounts to the individual. They might give a discounted rate to the organization. And so really, in many organizations, this one reason is enough to do a health and wellness program. But I also say that, to just check a box is not really the point of the exercise. Pardon the pun. Insurance savings is one reason, but it's not the only reason. What's another reason? Another reason is really to decrease medical expenses. There's a Harvard Business Review study, and I thought this was really, really interesting, that show that for every dollar that is invested in a health and wellness program, companies get a $3.27 return in decreased medical expenses. And that makes sense, right? Because obviously, if your workforce is healthier, then they're probably going to have to go to the hospital less. And candidly, this is just a side note, if you are an organization that cares about the well-being of your team members, well, then you're probably going to have a safer work environment. So kudos to you on that. So number two, I guess, is decreased medical expenses. Number three, decreased absenteeism. That same study that talked about decreasing medical expenses said that for every dollar invested, companies get $2.73 in people not missing work. Again, that makes sense, because if they are obviously healthier, they're more likely to be up to coming to work, whether it's an office job, whether it's manufacturing, whatever. So you put those two things together, and for every dollar you invest in a health and wellness program, you get $6 in return. And that is a healthy investment any place you look in business. So that would be reason enough, but that's not all. It also increases productivity, because it stands to reason then that if people have fewer medical claims and they're actually at work, productivity will go up. So if not, we need to talk about hiring, but that's a totally different webinar, right? So, and then finally, and this one is one that I think gets dismissed, and that's to have a happier team. And you might see this as fluff or as inconsequential, but let's talk about this on a couple of fronts, because it's not. Number one is just the idea of the culture and the workforce, and you going to work every day and dealing with people who are not miserable all the live long day. That makes for a better work experience for everybody on the team. But the other thing is studies will tell you that a boost in positivity, a boost in happiness, can actually increase brain function. So, for example, there was a study that they did with doctors. I just think this is totally fascinating. They did a study with doctors where before they went in to see a patient, they gave them a lollipop, and just literally one of the old school lollipops, and they made them put it in their pocket. And why did they do that? Because they didn't want them to eat the lollipop and have somehow the sugar affect their brain and it would affect the studies. So literally, they gave them a lollipop and had them put it in their pocket. And the doctors that they did this with actually had better diagnosis. They were more accurate in their diagnosis of patients. So I say that to say, like, if the most educated people on earth doing arguably some of the most important work on earth can be affected with a boost of positivity, well, then so can we, right? And so what that allows us to do is deal with stress better, right? It helps us think more creatively. If we all have a happier workplace, it really does increase brain function. And I don't know about you, but many of us, I think, that I talk to would love for our team to have higher brain function at work, right? Okay, so we know that it's important, right? Because of the dollar bills, because of happier culture, all that sort of thing. But most of us aren't personal trainers. We haven't had to put together a program like this. So how do we create a health and wellness plan that actually moves the needle? How do we make an impact with this? The fact is, most of us are leaders. We already are dealing with, forecasting and hiring and firing and training and communicating and meetings and so much more. So now that we understand that there is a lot at stake, what do we do about it? How do we get it right? So what we want to do is talk about 5 things that we have seen lots of organizations, those folks we've worked with, do to make their health and wellness plan have an impact. Now, what I've found is there are very few organizations that are doing all 5 of these really well. But we've cherry picked those things that we've seen from different organizations where, hey, when they do these things, it really has an impact. So these 5 things, if you do these things, then your health and wellness program will be more impactful. Ready? Let's get started. First up, you need a recruitment plan, something to get butts in seats, for lack of a better term. Because sure, you can force participation, and that's a strategy. Like, hey, we're rolling this out as a company and everybody is participating. And that's fine. That's great. However, what we've found is the best programs get enrollment. They get participants who want to participate. Now, you're going to have a percentage of people who naturally want to live a healthier lifestyle. And so they're naturally going to want to jump in, right? But what you want to do is to get those people who are maybe thinking about it. You're going to have the other side, right, of your employees who are like, absolutely not, heck no, I'm not doing this sort of thing. And you're probably not changing their mind. But you want to get those folks in the middle. It's a little bit like a political campaign. You got your folks over here, they're going this way. You got these people going over here. But these ones in the middle, we want to attract to the program. And we say that the best enrollment isn't forced, it's voluntary. And you need the 3 E's to get people enrolled. And so what those are is excitement. Excitement is the beginning of the program. When you roll it out and you show maybe what you're going to be giving away and what the incentives are and what people can look forward to. That's the excitement. This is when you're building buzz about the program. And you can do that not only through showing the things that they're going to do, but also enrolling your leadership team in maybe doing videos to invite them to do it, doing that sort of thing that sort of builds buzz around the program. Next, you need to build engagement. Now, engagement is when you start to get commitments. You start talking to individuals and saying, are you going to do it? What's your plan? Have you got your workouts figured out? All that sort of thing. You start to build the engagement. So your team members start telling you about it. And then finally, you get people to enroll. Enrollment is when you finish with more signups. You get people to sign on the dotted line, to enroll, to fill out their information and get their buy-in as they help recruit others as well. So what we've seen is when those early adopters jump in and start inviting their friends to participate as well, then you can really get something that moves the needle for your organization. If you want a great health and wellness program, then you need to create enrollment along the journey. So you need a plan to do that, and that's your recruitment plan. And that's number one. That's step one. Step two is to create a theme. So, I think many organizations have really well thought out brands and logos and brand guidelines, but they don't necessarily take that to the step of doing that with their health and wellness program. Create a theme that goes with those brand guidelines. You want to help, it will help with your recruitment when people can see a theme that they're going to get excited about it. So we recommend that you create a theme that is consistent with your company mission, with your company colors, and make it inspiring, right? You want to create a theme that you will be excited to see around your company every day for the next 90 days. And I think when you do this thoughtfully, then you can get people fired up about the program, but you can also get them excited to be fired up about what's next. So we've got a recruitment plan, create a theme around it. That's one of the other things we've seen. And then have a branded merch plan, right? And so this is probably no surprise that the branded merch company talks about having a branded merch plan. But as I've said, what great branded merch does is it affects human behavior. When you have a great theme and you have great artwork that actually works well on branded merch, because not all artwork does, right? And then you select quality merch, this will help with recruitment and inspiration of accountability. But only if it's quality merch, folks. Like if you give away crappy merch, you're going to get crappy results. One of the things we talk about is you don't want to be in the business of creating what we call brand fill. This is that type of merch that you get at a trade show and you're like, this is junk and I'm going to throw it away. It goes directly into the landfill. That does not affect human behavior in the way that you want. A cheap plastic water bottle does not move anyone to action. I hate to say it, right? We sell that stuff. But if you're going to do something like this, you need to do something that's quality. Whereas a double-walled, vacuum-sealed, Yeti-style water bottle with the theme that you have intentionally created and an employee's personalized name on it, that gets people to act. And so if you want to create a merch plan that creates and curates good product. Now, that doesn't mean you have to spend $1 million, but it does mean that you shouldn't necessarily choose cheap stuff. Inexpensive is different than cheap. So being intentional and creating a merch plan that actually gets people excited. Now, that, you can do that within different styles and sizes of budgets. And so when you do it, just don't go, this is not the place to, hey, I'm going to find the absolute cheapest thing I can do, because that you won't get enrollment doing that. So that's step 3. We've got your recruitment plan. We've created a theme. Now we've built a brand and merch plan around that theme, and we're off to the races. This one's big. This is what we like to call an inspiration plan or a communication plan. Once you have a group signed up, you need to have a plan to keep them moving in the right direction. Most people start off with the best of intentions, but it's hard to maintain, right? Just like that fitness plan. If you've ever jumped into a fitness plan, a communication plan only works when it's consistent, just like the fitness plan. One meeting at the beginning will not be enough to actually move people to action. So having that consistent plan as a part of communicating every day, getting people fired up every day is really important. So we find that the best plans have someone leading the way with consistent communications and content that will help remind the team of their goals. It's about inspiration and communication, which is why we call it that. I actually think this is one of the most valuable parts because it's the hardest, right? And it takes a lot of time. But it's most valuable because it helps motivate people on a daily basis. Again, like I said, most of us have started some sort of fitness plan, and you're like, that first week, you're all fired up, January 1st or whenever that is. And then, it's hard. After week 1, you're sore and you don't have 6-pack abs yet. But having somebody in your ear, some accountability partner, somebody who you listen to on a regular basis can really help you get more results by keeping you on the path. And then understanding that if you get off the path, you can get back on the path. And that's why the communication, the inspiration plan is just wildly important in my opinion. I really do think this is one of the most important pieces of this. So inspiration plan. And then finally, a workout plan. People, and when I say workout plan, I mean workout plans, because people will join these programs at different seasons of their life. You're going to have some who are just lifelong fitness people. Those are the people over on this side that are going to be first to sign up for the program. They're excited about it. They want to prove themselves to their organization and maybe take their passion of fitness and roll it into their workday and have an excuse to work out at lunch or whatever. But then you got other people, there's a reason that it's called a couch to 5K program, because there's a lot of people who are going to be starting on the couch, and that's okay. So it's good to have workout plans that can help them where they are in whatever season of life. Now, it's especially important that the workouts, that they might be able to do them in their workspace. And so, if you have some things that you can do to inspire people to take breaks during their day, to stretch, to do breath work, to get up and walk around, any sort of mobility plan or workout plan that they can actually do, whether it's rather than taking a smoke break, they take a walk break. Those are things that can really have a big, big impact on a team and on a culture. And, one of the other things that I want to mention is that study where it talks about the idea that happiness increases brain function. You know what else increases brain function? Exercise. As little as 20 minutes a day can actually increase brain function, make you smarter, and help you deal with stress and make you more creative and all those sort of things. So doing that break in the middle of your work will actually help you be better at work. So as a part of this, having a workout plan or workout plans that will help inspire people to not only work out when they get home or before work, but also do something during their work day, is something that we have seen be very, very effective. So you got all that? We've talked about 5 different things that the best programs do. They've got a recruitment plan, right? The best programs have a recruitment plan. They have a theme. They have a plan on doing merch and doing it well, so that it's not just junk that's going to end up in the drawer. It's going to actually help get people accountable, get people signed up, help with recruit and all that sort of thing. They have an inspiration or communication plan, and they have workouts that can help the team that will get them moving during this health and wellness program that you have going on. Now, I sort of said this at the beginning. One of the things is, just like anything, like if you implement any one of these, you're probably going to be ahead of many of the programs that are out there, many of the programs that you've probably participated in the past. But the fact is, most organizations aren't doing many of these. And so many, or most of them, are not doing all of them for sure. And so we want to try and help with that. And so that's where we have created this HMC Total Wellness Plan that we want to help. The HMC Total Wellness Plan addresses all of these in one place. And I know we're going through this quickly, but I want to get to the end, leave an opportunity if you want to ask questions or if you want to talk about it a little bit more. So the HMC Total Wellness Plan, it does have a recruitment plan. It includes scripts. This is about that, engaging the 3 E's, getting people excited and engaged and enrolled, scripts for emails, scripts for social media, even videos. Our plan actually includes video scripts, but the production of the videos to promote your program. And that includes videos with you or your CEO to help encourage the team as well. The creation of the theme, we help people create the artwork design to match the brand guidelines and to inspire and to look great on merch. We create the merch plan. One of the things that, I think as it goes with all of this, most of us aren't all of these things. And we have a whole team that does this. And so we help you curate quality products that are sure to move people to action. They'll have a wow factor and they won't be brand fill. And we can also work within a budget. We've got some, multiple budgets that we can work with. They all have different things that we can work through, but we have curated them for you so they're going to be quality. As I've said, this one's a big one. And so the Total Wellness Program includes an inspiration communication plan that has a post, a message, a text, or email that goes out every day 90 days every single day. That might include videos on goal setting, meal prepping, personal development, even meditation and mental health. That was as we rolled this out to a few folks that we were kind of talking to about this program. That was one of the things that they'd said, hey, it needs to have a mental health component. And so we've added that as well. So we would, on day one, we immediately either the person who is organizing this will get this and they can push it out, or we can actually push it out to everybody who's signed up. And we've got a different program. This first one's about goals and taking the stairs. Next is about, hey, you need to drink water. And we not only give them a little boost of inspiration, but also videos, studies, things that will help them stay on track and learn more about those things so that they can level up. I'll tell you, this was a piece that I worked hard on. And what I loved about it is in putting it together, I was like, this is really going to help people. It's really going to help people from a personal development stage be more happier. Also, they'll hopefully be healthier, fitter, all that sort of thing. So this one's a big piece and I think adds a lot of value. And then workout plans. We've actually worked with a certified athletic trainer and a doctor to create exercises that you can actually do at your workplace. And this is included in the program as well. So there's a lot here, right? You get your recruitment plan, which of course is about a $5,000 value. The video alone is going to cost that. Creating the theme, a $500 value. Merch plan, $500 value. Workout plans, $500 value. And that inspiration plan, the daily communication every day, is a $3,500 value as well. And so the total value is around $10,000 just in value in this piece alone. But we're rolling it out today because this is new for us. And I think it's important. We say there's only 3 spots available because we got to think through the actual opportunity here. If you're going to do this, most folks doing this right now, if you want to roll it out, you probably want to roll it out in that January 1st guideline. And if we're going to do that, we're going to create a theme and we're going to order the merch and help you with the recruitment plan. We need to be thinking about this in November, between the 15th and the 1st of December. So if this is something you're interested in, I would encourage you to act quickly, not only because there are only 3 spots available, but because we want to get this rolling so that you can have it in your team's hands. Whew, I've covered a lot of ground here. So how do you sign up, right? So this is simple. Guys, this is not going to be a hard sell. You're going to be talking to me. So if you want information, scan the QR code, or you can head to wellness.hassemanmarketing.com. It will just cue me to reach out to you and we can set up a conversation to do that. But if this is something that's interesting to you, I would do it soon so that we can get to move on this. Now, one of the other things I will say is, let's say that your budgets don't renew till January 1st and you want to say, well, we won't start then. We can still start this in February or March. But I would encourage you to jump on this. So do it now. Once again, $10,000 worth of value. We're really excited about it. I hope you can tell that. And right now, 3 spots available. All of this for only $3,500. And again, this includes videos with your CEO that we've created the scripts for, all that sort of thing. Okay. So once again, if you are interested, I would love for you to check it out. And you can do that here.